Hey YouTube, this is the Purple One. I want to bring you another boots on the ground. This is just one email I got. I think it's so important. I want to just share it with you. Thanks for all of the new information I'm getting. I might even do a report this evening. Just depends how many more I get, so I'm not overloaded in the morning. And so you can take it in. If you get a ton of stuff, it's hard to digest everything. One person, let me read you this. This man or woman is in the United States Merchant Marines. I'm not going to say rank. I'm not going to say who, anything. A person in the Merchant Marines. Fuel, diesel was $380 a ton before Election Day. Within 2 weeks after Election Day was $700. Then it was $990 a ton right before Russia invaded Ukraine. It was $110. Excuse me, $1,010 after the Ukraine invasion. So before election it was $380. After Ukraine is $1,010. Right now it sits at $1,500 a ton. So I guess they don't go by gallons, they go by tons because they're transporting and shipping lots of it and using lots of it. Right now fuel sits at $1,500 a ton. We bunker over 1,000 tons of fuel a month. My gut feeling is that China is playing games with our supply chain and using COVID lockdowns to enact economic warfare on the U.S. Oh, we didn't shut down our ports. It's a COVID measure. Ships are having a staffing issue as many people quit over the vaccine mandate. My vessel alone lost over 100 years of experience collectively the day the mandate came into effect. Meanwhile, shipping is being gutted by burdensome regulations that make no sense. Everyone is talking about the truckers. I want to make something clear. Once the goods are in the United States, 90% of the logistical battle is over. If the truckers aren't running, someone with a pickup truck or room in their truck could move goods if it's that dire. Even looters would eventually get supplies out to the open market. But if the goods aren't getting into the United States, then it's likely they'll never even exist as far as we're concerned. U.S. ports are still backed up and offloading is slow. Next time you're at the grocery store, look how many fresh foods come from Guatemala, Brazil, etc. We're talking the end of medicine, car parts, most of our food, everything. We don't make anything here. I delivered 24 million tons of fertilizer from the Black Sea to the U.S. Do you think that's still going to happen? It's not going to be news stories such as a man drives 100 miles for baby formula. It's going to be baby starves to death as man can't even find parts to get his car running to look for non-existent formula. I found that interesting. If the ships stop, the truckers don't work. But what is happening? If stuff is inside the United States, still truckers are having problems. I'm hearing from them. Fuel is high. There seems to be someone purposely throwing metal shavings into this engine. And I think they're throwing more than metal shavings. They might be throwing ball bearings into this engine because it is starting to squeal. It's starting to grind to a halt. I'm getting more and more reports that I can't tell you because I've told people I would not say. Things are not looking good. I wish I could tell you more, but I tell you a lot. I give you enough information on what I can, but when someone says do not release this on the internet, do not put it on your news feed, I don't do it, just out of respect. But basically it's pretty much the same stuff as everyone else is telling me. Sometimes they give me more specific information, and that's why I don't want to give it out. But this Merchant Marine, his fuel costs have just gone sky high. I mean, 24 million tons of fertilizer, he won't be going back and getting any more of that from the Black Sea, and that's probably either Ukraine or Russia. The thing we need to think about is you need to stock what you need for an extended period of time. Just not, if you're thinking 3 months, if you're thinking 6 months, you might be wrong. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But if you are sitting on Federal Reserve notes and you have excess money, think of everything you're going to need in the next 2 to 3 years. Everything. Sneakers, shoes, clothes. Even, you might want to think 7 years out. If things stop and no one knows the future. But if you got a bunch of money and you know you're going to be using something in the next few years, buy it, put it back, store it properly. I don't think you're going to get mad at yourself. I think we're going to be mad at ourselves, the people that have Federal Reserve notes, when we wake up and they're worthless. And you said, man, I could take this and I could have bought chainsaw, I could have bought tools, I could have bought clothes, I could have bought more food, I could have bought gas, I could have bought lumber, I could have bought nails and screws, but now I have a handful of worthless $100 bills. Some of you are not in that position where you have an empty hand or a handful of $100 bills. You're trying to get a few $1 bills to buy a few cans. I know that. There's a lot of elderly people. There's a lot of people that have fixed incomes that listen and watch this. I know it. I talk to you. Do the best you can. To those that can do more, do as much as you can. Because we're going to come a time when you are going to have to help your neighbor. You might say, I'm not helping that antelope. I'm not helping that jerk. There is going to be someone out there you will want to help that has been kind to you or is in so much need. We have to be ready to rebuild. If you have this attitude, oh, it's just me, it's not going to be able to be rebuilt. So, put back what you can. But it's going to take us all working together. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take the ability to say, yeah, I got all that stuff stocked up, but if I can share it with a few people, that's going to strengthen my community. If my community gets a little flicker of support and it strengthens a little bit, maybe that will be enough to get more flickers of hope and more flickers of people saying, oh man, we're in this together. I hate that saying, we're all in this together. But when it comes down to an economic collapse, you can either help someone or you might be fighting someone. You got to be able to be there for people. If you're a Christian, you know your position. You're not guaranteed anything in this life other than do what the Heavenly Father tells you to do. And this is an opportunity for you to help people, to be a witness, to be an example of love, of sacrifice. There's a lot of people that helped me in my life, just financially, just with good advice. So we owe it to pass that along. Don't be selfish. You want to expand your network, even if it's just acquaintances. Yesterday, we got the blocks and we cleaned up a bunch of junky wood. It was a mess. We cleaned it up so nice for that lady. She's an older lady, way into her 60s. Could not go do that work we did, me and Nate did. She sent us, Nate, a text and said it was a blessing. She was overjoyed that it got cleaned up. So that touched me. It was like, you know, I got some block, but I did something for someone. It really didn't cost me a few hours of work, but I got block out of it. I got other things out of it. She got a blessing out of it. And you know what? That lady knows us. She's still maybe 10 miles, now 12, 13 miles away. But guess what? Maybe in bad times, I'm in that area, and I need something, I stop in, hey man, can I have a glass of water? You know what? She's going to see me and say, oh yeah, come on in. Sit down. It gives me that opportunity to expand my network. It gives me an opportunity to expand my influence. And there's something she has that I don't have. There's some knowledge in her head that I don't have. It's about community. Even if she's 12 miles away, eventually your community and your influence has to spread. So, prepare, but pray about it. Thanks for watching.